This May 17, 2025, history reminds us that 42 years ago today, on May 17, 1983, imperialist and neocolonialist forces orchestrated the arrest of Comrade Captain Thomas Sankara, then Prime Minister. In the days that followed, the anti-imperialist fighting youth mobilized to say no to this forfeiture. The seed of the democratic and popular revolution had thus been sown. 2 weeks later, Captain Thomas Sankara was released under popular pressure, and 3 months later, from this fertile ground fueled by the people's deep aspiration for freedom, the revolution would germinate. This May 17, 2025, is therefore a symbol of the refusal of imperialist domination, neocolonialism, and their avatars, war and terrorism. It is also a symbol of the determination of our people to assume their destiny before history, to build a free and sovereign nation. This ideal was carried by our predecessors of the RDP, the democratic and popular revolution led by Comrade Captain Thomas Sankara. Today, we are bearers of this same torch of anti-imperialist struggle with the progressive popular revolution. This May 17th, we honor a duty of memory through the inauguration of the mausoleum dedicated to President Emmanuel Isidore Thomas Sankara and his comrades in struggle, who fell for the beloved homeland under the murderous bullets of the local valleys of imperialism and the living room Negroes, who fell for the ideal of dignity, of freedom, of integrity and sovereignty, who fell but forever alive in our hearts and in our consciences. The choice of this date is therefore not a coincidence. The Revolution of August 1983 was brought to a close by the popular anti-imperialist demonstrations triggered by the plot of May 17, 1983, whose design was to stem the rising tide of progressive and revolutionary forces with a view to perpetuating imperialist oppression and domination over our people. Today, May 17th, international imperialism is still feeding the same disastrous design. In the face of it, we remain committed to driving profound economic and social transformations for the good of our people, determined to establish social justice, to fight for the dignity, freedom and sovereignty of Burkina Faso, the states of the AES Confederation and the African peoples. Dear comrades, distinguished guests, this mausoleum that we inaugurate today on the free land of Burkina Faso on the initiative of the Council of Entente, charged with the history of a tragedy experienced by our peoples, is not a simple building. It is a place of memory that reminds the collective conscience of the Burkinabés, freedom fighters and all men who love peace and social justice, of the sacrifice of President Thomas Sankara and his companions. This mausoleum is also the testimony of a persecuted but still lively integrity. It is the indelible seal of recognition of a people in struggle, the materialization of a living memory whose resilience in the face of the wear and tear of time is unshakable. We are not gathered this May 17th out of nostalgia or driven by resentment for a painful past. What brings us together today as one is rather the renewed oath to commit ourselves with determination to preserve the gains and to continue the historic patriotic work of our heroes for the total liberation of our people from imperialism and neocolonialism. Comrades, I would like to pay a deserved tribute to the families of our martyrs for their dignity, their patience and their perseverance. You have borne the weight of history without flinching, without ever weakening, and in this place where our heroes rest, I would like to assure you, on behalf of the entire nation, of our deepest respect. In their memory and in view of the supreme sacrifice made for the dignity of our people, I have decided to name streets in the name of each of the 12 companions who fell with Captain Thomas Sankara. More than a duty of memory, the inscription of these names in the toponymy of our capital is defined as a true school intended to teach current and future generations and to share with visitors from here and elsewhere the values of integrity, dignity, civic-mindedness and patriotism defended by our martyrs who today constitute the compass of our popular progressive revolution. Dear comrades, this mausoleum marks the start of a major project, that of the Thomas Sankara Memorial, which will be built on an area of approximately 14 hectares with many other infrastructures. The Thomas Sankara Memorial is designed not only as a place of memories, but also as a space for reflection, education, inspiration and action. Its purpose is to keep the flame of revolution alive in humanity and to remind the world of Captain Thomas Sankara's struggle to break the chains of slavery and imperialist domination, and escape oppression. This project is intended to be Pan-African and popular because Sankara himself was a global icon. I therefore invite everyone to contribute to this memorial. I would be remiss if I did not make a special mention of the women and men who held the eco-bet, the torch of the revolution, despite the storms and various adversities. Congratulations to the International Committee of the Thomas Sankara Memorial, SIMS. Despite the difficulties inherent in revolutionary commitment, you have remained dignified and active in perpetuating the ideal of the father of the revolution. Through doubt, I salute the determination of the former companions. Remain faithful to the cause of civil society organizations and all patriotic Pan-Africanist activists here and elsewhere. I will not pass over in silence the tireless and immeasurable efforts of comrades from different countries around the world who contribute every day to the successful outcome of the Burkina people's struggle. I salute the coordination of the project to build the infrastructure of the Noel Isidore Thomas Sankara Memorial, the architects, engineers, workers, artists, volunteers and builders of collective memory who have contributed to ensuring that this mausoleum is a place of contemplation and inspiration for future generations. I extend my sincere thanks to our distinguished guests from all over Africa and the rest of the world, and without being exhaustive, I welcome the presence of the heads of government, my brother, His Excellency Ousmane Sonko, his co-Prime Minister of the Republic of Senegal. My brother, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Alamai Alina, Prime Minister of Chad, the members of government of friendly countries, in particular the ministers, heads of delegation of Niger, Mali, Ghana and all other friendly countries. Leaders of Pan-African movements, diplomatic delegations and sincere partners of the cause of the people and all friends came to honor the memory of the father of the revolution. Your presence here is an act of solidarity and shared pride, because Thomas Sankara belongs not only to Burkina Faso, but to all of Africa and to fighting humanity. As heirs to his struggle, we recognize our responsibility in these troubled times when the faltering of history strangely calls for the struggle he led to the supreme sacrifice for freedom and sovereignty. I remain convinced that our revolution will be worthy of President Thomas Sankara's ideal and that together we will rise to this challenge of our generation. This is the only way for us to live free, to live freely, and to live with dignity. Long live the memory of President Thomas Sankara and his companions. Long live a free and sovereign Burkina Faso. Long live the progressive popular revolution. Homeland or death, we will win. Homeland or death, we will win. Homeland or death, we will win.